Hey, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. And today, well, Juno and I, we got something to share with you. Yeah, we do. As y'all know, these are the knives I chose for wood crafting and outdoor survival and whatnot. And well, we got a new addition today. I decided to retire the cold steel ones. Why? Because, well, they don't make the Warcraft anymore. I sort of didn't get damaged or anything, so I just wanted to sort of collect that one. Especially after hearing one of the viewers say that he broke a screw on his handle scale, and he's having problems finding screws for it. So I decided just to retire that one. These knives, the Esees, have an awesome warranty. And they totally back their products, and without no questions asked. And so does K-Bar. K-Bar backs their products too. So the knives I use for wood crafting and outdoor survival, I want them to be able to be replaceable in case something happens to them. And so I decided to retire the two cold steel ones I was using, the AK-47 and the Warcraft. They both function beautifully, and they're super strong, held their edges. No problems with them. It's just that I don't know how the cold steel warranty works anymore, and I know how it used to work, where they would just either repair or replace things. But I don't want to go through all that with cold steel, the new GSM cold steel, so I decided to retire those and stick to the ones I know that have really awesome warranties. The tops, the Esees, and the K-Bars. So anyway, as y'all know, I love my Esee-4. I love the Esee-4. Awesome knife. With this the sheet that the Esee-4 comes with. It has like a clip-on part that you just clip on your belt. I like that because it's easy to take it off and on, or put it on and take it off. Absolutely love my BK9. It's everything I thought it would be. This is one nice big heavy duty wood crafting knife, chopping or whatever you need to do it for, and it's super tough. I pounded the crap out of this one, or batoned the crap out of this one when I was doing what I was doing. And I love my sheath by Just the Sheath Maker 8. This is an awesome sheath, and it was only like 67 bucks. It's like on eBay. Awesome sheath. Highly recommend Just the Sheath Maker. Just the Sheath Maker 8. And my K-Bar EK50. I love this knife. Absolutely love it. One thing that's cool about the EK50 is cool in all grips. So if you're going to use it like a self-defense knife, a EDC fixed blade, it's awesome. I've heard a couple people complain about they think the handle's too small. I don't think the handle's too small. The handle, at least not for my hand. Maybe my hand's smaller than theirs. But if you're going to use it for a self-defense knife, you don't really want a whole bunch of handles sticking out the back. Just get something that somebody else can grab onto. The one thing that I do wish that this one had, though, is maybe a little bit bigger guard. Because this guard, if you're just using it for cutting tasks and cutting chores, it's perfectly fine. But if I was going to use it for self-defense, the only way I would feel safe with this knife would be in the reverse grip, where I could put my thumb over the pommel of the handle and keep my hand from sliding onto the blade, just like you would a knife without a guard. But I like the neutral handle though. It's an awesome knife. And it still smells like sardines. Like it smells sardines as soon as I pulled it out. And I've cleaned it I don't know how many times. I can't get rid of that smell, I guess. So if you're going to use it for an EDC knife, I don't think you should use it for a sardine knife or a cut bait knife. But anyway, let's get into what this one's going to be all about. Yes, we got a new one to add to wood crafting, or outdoors knives, should I say. And we'll get into it, and I'll tell you the reason why I got this one. This one's coming from Amazon. And what is it? I told one of the viewers I was thinking about getting this one, so they might have a clue. It's another Esee. It's another Esee. This time I got the small one. Why? Because I'm gonna replace this one. And the reason why is because I love the Esee grip. I love the forward finger choil. I love the finger groove. I love the way the finger guard feels against my hand when I'm doing stuff with it. I really, and to me, you know, if it's gonna be a working knife, the grip is very important. This one has a good grip too, but not for, it's not something I want, because I can feel this little metal piece of the guard, and it sort of bugs me a little bit. But like I said, it'd be a great self-defense knife though. And so I'm gonna retire that one. And let's get into this one. This one is, and this is the new one too. And something a little bit different about this one as opposed to the other ones. Let you guys look at the box. Made in the USA. All right. See how we open this one. Does it slide open? Looks like it should just slide open. There we go. Tight fit. It's got a barcode right here. I'm excited about this one. And there's the knife. It's got all the usual Esee stuff. It's got your survival card. I put one of them in my wallet already. I'm gonna set that out the way. And let's get into this. Ah, this feels nice. There it is. It's got the same type of sheath as this one. Looks like it's made out of the exact same material. And it's got the same type of pocket clip setup. But this one I don't think I'm going to use, because I'm going to set this one up to be carried scout carry. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back in here, because I'm not going to, no need me unwrapping it, because I'm not going to use it. I want it to be small. The small fixed blades, I like to carry them scout carry in the front of my body, not in the back of my body. I don't like carrying knives around my back. Oh, that looks nice. And then this again, we can take this off. Where'd the little booger go? All right. Because this is another piece I'm not going to use. So I just save it. I don't think I'm ever going to sell this knife, but I always like to save all these little parts and things just in case I do want to sell it or trade it or do something else down the road. But this knife I plan on using the mess out of it, so it's really just for me. But here it is. Yes. You guys might be guessing which one it is already. Esee knives. S35VN, people. This is the S35VN one. And this one's destined to smell like sardines. But I really love these grips. This one has a 4-inch blade. Oh man, it just feels really good in my hand. They're both about the same size, the EK50 and the Esee. They look about the same size to me. Let me move some of this stuff out the way. I'm gonna move the sheaths out the way. But yeah. Okay, the EK50 is a little bit longer, might be a ½ inch longer. EK50 blade is 5 inches. The Esee is 4 3/4. So it's a 1/4 of an inch shorter as far as the blade is concerned. Let me see what the cutting edge is like. I think the EK50 has more cutting edge too. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. 4 5/8 for cutting edge. And the Esee is 4 1/4. 4 1/4 inch for cutting edge. Handle lengths. Handle length is 4 3/8. And this one is 4 1/4. So this one's got a little bit more handle. Blade thickness. I know the Esee's thicker, but we're just gonna measure it out anyway. What do we got? 4.79 or 4.80. Let me re-zero just to make sure. $4.79. The EK50, 4.25. The weight, EK50, 6.7 ounces. The Esee, 8.1. How much do they weigh in their sheaths? That's what you sort of got to do, fixed blades. You got to weigh them in the sheath too. This one has, I put the cold steel Scout carry clips on it. So it's going to weigh a little bit more than it's supposed to. $10.1 ounces with the sheath. 9.7 ounces. Now that's without any kind of attachment for carrying it on it. And I'm probably gonna, I want to put these, I'll probably take these off of here and put them on this one. But this is the reason why I got this Esee, because the handle to me looked a lot like my my Esee-4 EK. Esee-4. And I absolutely love the Esee-4 handle. To me, this is the knife that I would want to carry all the time if I was in the woods or something like that. It's not too heavy, doesn't pull my pants down, and it's just, it's in that good zone for a fixed blade for me as far as weight's concerned. And weight is something to always consider, if it's gonna be something that you're gonna be carrying for, like say if you have to walk a long distance or whatever you're doing or something like that. This one would weigh me down. This one for me, I think, would be mostly like a knife that I would put attached to my backpack. And I would carry it like that. I don't think I'd want to carry it on my pants because I'd have to constantly keep pulling up my pants. I would definitely want to take this one with me though, because this one's the one that could do the heavy chopping and the heavy batoning and bigger pieces of wood and stuff like that. So it's definitely one I would want with me if I had to set up a camp or something like that. But this is the one I'd want to carry on my side. And that's why I'm thinking. That's why I'm thinking about these. You know, which ones I want to carry. I'm not trying to buy a whole bunch of knives like I do pocket knives, like you guys see me do pocket knives and stuff like that. I'm just trying to get what I'm going to actually use. This one, the EK. This is a World War II knife. It was. I think it was basically like a World War II utility knife, or for those soldiers that wanted to carry a smaller knife. The EK 50 and 51, they're more like utility knives for soldiers. And it's an awesome knife. It's built extremely well. It's extremely sturdy, extremely strong. And I got total faith in it. It's 1095 Crovan high carbon steel. And I got total faith in it. And one thing I learned about Crovan is that the reason why they did that, why Sharon Steel did that, Sharon Steel is the one that invented the Crovan steel back in the 1950s. And the reason why they came out with that steel is because they wanted to make a steel that was a little bit more rust resistant than high carbon steel, high carbon 1095. And also a steel that can be tempered to a little bit higher temper, so it'd hold edges better. It'd hold its edge better, but still be easy to resharpen in the field without sacrificing the toughness. So that's the reason why they added vanadium and chromium to it. So that's the advantage that this kind of steel has over like this kind of steel. This one's just 1095 is a super tough steel, but from my understanding, it won't hold its edge as well as like the 1095 CV. From the things that I've read, Now I can sort of attest to that because I don't know if y'all remember the paper cutting and stuff like that. This one I did the most batoning with, and you know, I had to break down the biggest pieces of wood, and the edge didn't get damaged at all. And I don't know if these are differentially heat treated, but it acted like a knife that's differentially heat treated, where the edge is harder than the spine. And lots of times it differentially heat treat knife blades to add strength to the blade. So if you're going to do things like batoning or chopping with it, it won't snap on you. But this one held up really well. This is the BK series. I'm pretty sure they probably make them all the same way, as far as the heat treatment and everything like that is concerned. But the BK series knives, if they're all like this one, I would highly recommend the BK series for a couple of reasons. One is that they're not too expensive. They're affordable. And you're getting a super high quality knife that's affordable. And I don't want to put down any other companies or whatever, but there's another company that everybody knows, American company, and I have several of their knives too. But I've seen videos where the edges look like they're not tempered right, and the edges get big chips and everything else like that in the 1095 that they use. And so I would recommend the BK series all day long from my experiences based on the BK9. If they're all made like the BK9 as far as the tempering and the heat treatment, this is a super strong knife. The Rowan knives, I understand, does an excellent heat treat also on their knives, which is a little bit different because the same people that make these knives are the same people that used to make the Rat series knives for Ontario Knife Company. But Rowan, from my understanding, does better heat treatments. So even though you can get the Rat series from OKC for a lot less money, there's a couple of things that has negatives to me. Is that I don't like the sheaths. OKC uses like those Codera or material sheaths. I'd rather have a sheath that's like this. This sheath works perfectly. I don't know if this is Kydex or if it's some kind of polymer, whatever it is, but whatever it is, it works perfectly. I'm totally happy with this sheath. I don't feel like I need to replace the sheath at all. And sheaths are expensive; they're not cheap. And like the one for my BK, it cost me an additional $67 just to get the sheath. But the BK sheath is like a Codera sheath too, and that's not what I want. I'd rather have something that's Kydex or even polymer or whatever. I'd rather have the polymer sheath than Codera sheath, or whatever you call it. That's just my personal opinion. I feel like these are more durable. The blade won't stick through it. Even though the Codera sheaths, most of them have plastic inserts or polymer inserts, I'd still rather have something like this. That's just my personal preference. This sheath rocks. I mean, I think this is an excellent. I don't think the factory could have did a better job than this one. This sheath fits the knife perfectly. Coming from just a sheath maker, Sheath Maker 8. Fits my knife perfectly. I absolutely love it. Also, just a sheath maker is gonna make me another sheath for my what do you call it? Wild Pig Hunter. My Tops Wild Pig Hunter. He wants to make a sheath that has like a lot of different attachments and things to it. So I said, okay, yeah, that sounds cool. So you guys can expect that in the future. But I absolutely love this. And I was thinking about either getting this one or the 5 model and just using this one like I would use this one. But I must admit, every time I cut sardines and everything like that and washed it off in the river or whatever, I always had to dry it off and I was worried about rusting. I don't like rust, people. I'm sorry. I really don't like rust. I know, you know, like a lot of the hardcore outdoors people and woodcrafters, you know, it's cool to have your knife all stained up and rusted up. I don't know, if I'm gonna use things for like food prep or anything else like that, I don't want rust on the blade. That's just me. And so when I saw that Esee was making these with this model and the 3 model, the 3 model is a lot like this one, it's just shorter. And you know what I mean, I like to get, you know, a little bit bigger blade. But I didn't want one that was too big, because OKC is coming out with one that has a 6-inch blade, I think it is. 6 or 6.5-inch blade, I can't remember exactly. That also has S35VN. And I think it's called the Rat 6. The Rat 6. And I was tempted to get that one too, but they're not out yet. You had to pre-order it. And then I thought to myself, you know, if they don't do the heat treatment really good on their other blades, not as good as like the Rowan does, do I really want that one? Because I already have a big knife. I already have a knife with a 6.5-inch blade. So in other words, it'd be about the same size as this one. And this one I'd rather have in 1095 because I'm going to use it for chopping and batoning and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't baton with a stainless steel blade. Everything I've always learned about stainless steel and stuff like that, it's more brittle than the carbon blades. Usually, you know, if you got a good stainless steel that holds a good edge, they're always more brittle because they're tempered at a higher, you know, their HRC is like, I don't know, usually like from 58 to about 62 or 61 or something like that. And that's in the range where knives start to get brittle. And then like when you go above 60, like 63 or 64, you know, I really wouldn't baton with something like that. Cause, you know, they may hold an edge way better than the carbon steels, but they're also way more brittle. And so, in my opinion, they're not knives meant to be pounded on. And Esee even put out a video on YouTube, Esee did, about the result that they got from batoning, doing some heavy batoning with this knife and the blade snap. They let you know that the blade snapped. And that right there is one of the things that really sold me on getting this blade, because they let you know the limits of the blade before you buy it. It's not a knife that, you know, the way it's made like it'd be a good batoning knife. You know, it's made to be very heavy duty. It's only almost 5 millimeters, you know, for a 4-inch blade. That's pretty awesome for, you know, it's almost a 5-inch, 4 and 3/4 inch blade with a 4-inch cutting edge. I think it's pretty awesome. I love the finger choil up here and the finger groove back here. And I got a full grip. And this one has the 3D handles. After having this one, I want the 3D handles. I started to get the flat handles because I plan on carrying this one scout carry. And flat handles might actually be more comfortable scout carry, but I don't know. I just love the 3D handles that Esee's making. And after experiencing this, I know I probably wouldn't want flat handles. This one has flat handles. And you know, it's got a good grip and everything, but it's not as good as this. This feels super warm. You know, it's got the micarta, and it just feels like it's contoured to my hand. This one feels like it'd be really good. I would use this one for like feather sticking and smaller chores, but I'm not going to pound on it. I'm not going to use it for batoning or anything like that. I wouldn't use it like that. Not unless I had to, if I didn't have any other choice. But I plan on carrying these two on my person. This one's scout carry. I'm going to carry this one on my side, on my hip, and this one's going to be a backpack knife. And I also want to get an axe. And I'm thinking about the cold steel axes because they're not too expensive. But then I know that they're 1055, and so I wonder how well it would hold an edge. You know, but is that really important with the axe? If y'all know, let me know. I'm not one that's had to chop wood in my life. When we used to make firewood in my family, we used to just use a chainsaw and go chop down old brush and stuff like that on Grandpa's property. And we'd load that up, and that's what we used for firewood. But my dad always used a chainsaw. We didn't use axes and things. But I want to know how to do things without power tools. I want to know how to do things like in the most raw form of doing them, you know, like with hand tools. And so I do plan on getting an axe and probably a hatchet also. Hatchet, you know, for a lot of smaller chores so I could save my knives. Because if you ask me, if you're in a survival situation, I think it's best to use your tools properly in ways that you don't have to worry about them breaking or failing on you. And trying to do stuff that you're supposed to do with axes, with not pocket knives, but with fixed blade knives, I think that's not the smartest thing to do if you're trying to survive. I'd rather say this would be a great hunting knife, you know, for taking care of game and cleaning game and stuff like that. That's why I sort of look at this one. And that's one reason why I want it to be stainless steel, because I don't have to worry about the blood and everything else, you know, rotting the steel and everything. And you know, I'll still keep it clean and everything, keep it clean and oiled, but I don't have to worry about it as much as if I had a carbon steel knife. And this one, you know, you don't have to have a finish on it and everything, so it's just a nice Stonewash finish, full flat ground blade. The edge looks like it looks like a, I don't know what degree that is, but it looks like about 23 or 24. It looks pretty thick behind the edge, that's what I'm trying to say. And so I think the edge was meant to be tough. But it still looks sharp. Let's see how sharp it is. Heel to toe. I can feel the edge is thick. The edge does feel thick. Let's see what my pocket knife is like. Just to compare it. Oh, news on pocket knives. If y'all if y'all want an Atlas knife, go to GP Knives. GP Knives and I think Blade HQ's even got them now. But they got the 3.5-inch one. And guess what, people? It came out without FRN. It came out with black G10 handle scales and S35VN blade. And they're going for like around $165. Yes, I got one. I put one on order. It'll be here at the beginning of next week. So you guys will be able to see that. And I got the 3.5-inch one. That's the only one I think that's out right now is the 3.5-inch one. But if you want to get one, I suggest that you go get one because I don't know how many they got or how long they will last. And the two sites, I think, I got mine from GP Knives. And I also think I saw it on Blade HQ. So if you guys are interested in a new Atlas lock folder from GSM Cold Steel, I suggest that you guys go check that out. And to me, for $165 for a knife that has S35VN blade, a 3.8 millimeter S35VN blade with a G10 handle scales and the Atlas lock, which is supposed to be one of the strongest locks out there, I think that's a good deal. I'm okay with that. When they first start listening, they were listening at like $265 or something like that, some ridiculous price. But they brought it down to $100. So, and they're giving you G10 instead of FRN, because the original ones that they were listing said that they had S35VN blades with GFN handles. And actually what they have now is S35VN steel with G10, black G10 handles, and the price is like right around $165. I don't think that's a bad price for that knife. Oh yeah, see that one just glides. And I think it has to do with the thickness behind the edge. Because I think this one is a lot thicker behind the edge. It still cuts nice though. Beautiful. See, that one lost a little bit of its edge. I probably need to strop it. But that should be expected for, HC steel. That's what, everything I've read, that's what it tells me. This one hasn't lost any of its edge. And this is Crovan steel. So just like I just discussed, this one got put through a lot more than this knife did. And this one's edge is still perfect. It's got a perfect edge. This one has a good edge too. It just feels like it's got a little bit duller from when I first started with it. And I've been carrying this one every day. I absolutely love this one. When I get the 3.5 inch Atlas lock knife, it still can't replace this. So I don't know. We're gonna check it out. It should be here next week. But that's this one's competition, is the Atlas lock knife. Now, as far as like price is concerned, to make this knife this way, it cost me about $400. Whereas the Atlas lock knife is $165. I could add 2 Atlas lock knives for the price of this one. Now that's something to think about. This has a 3.2 millimeter blade as opposed to a 3.8 millimeter blade. And this one's just Austrian D2, the K110 D2, as opposed to American S35VN, CPM-S35VN from New York, from one of the oldest steel making companies in the United States, Crucible Steel. So that's something to think about, because that's the reason why I didn't hesitate once they went to G10, because those are handle scales I'll be happy with, because I don't like FRN very much. Now, FRN's okay for me if it's on a knife that's under $100. FRN and Grivery and all that. If the knife is under $100, that's okay to me. But when it starts getting over $100, I want something better. And I put up with it on the 80-20.5s because there's nothing like this lock. This lock is the best. That's my opinion. I think this lock is the best. And, even if the Atlas lock is a little bit stronger, I still like this lock. Because I like the way it's operated from the front. Everybody I've watched handle the Atlas lock, they have to sort of readjust their hand and go to the middle of the knife. And so, especially on the smaller knives, it might be harder to actuate it, or to fidget with it real easily, whereas this one isn't. Absolutely love these. And I absolutely love the original Goat scales and back spacer that I got on it. They're 4 millimeter thick. They're super thick, super strong. And this knife weighs, I think it was 6 ounces. And the new Atlas lock knife weighs the same size, one that's the same size as this one. Because the new Atlas lock with 3.5 inch blade, you can't compare it to the 80-20.5. That's a small, lightweight 3-inch blade knife. Whereas this one's meant to be heavy duty. This is a heavy duty knife. And the 80-20 is even more heavy duty in this one because it's got a lot thicker blade stock. 6 ounces. So it weighs, almost an ounce or half ounce lighter. It's lighter than the Atlas lock knife. that I just purchased today. But I absolutely love these. Absolutely love it. But I can't wait to see, I must admit, I can't wait to see that Atlas lock knife. Well, that's about all I got for you today. Let you guys look at the markings. This handle scale sort of reminds me of my Frenzy. The first Frenzy I got. I ended up dyeing the handle scales and polished all the way out because they were like the same colors. Absolutely love this one. And it's so comfortable in my hand. These Esees know what they're, the people who are making these knives know what they're doing when they they know how to make a real comfortable hand. I can picture this one being used for all sorts of stuff. Except for batoning. I'm not gonna pound on it. I'm not gonna baton on it. It can do everything else but that. Because this will be able to hold the edge very well. It'll hold the edge better than the CV. Absolutely love it. Full tang construction. I like how it has a rounded tang, so it'd be a great self-defense knife too. It feels good in all grips. Awesome knife. Well, people, there it is there. I mentioned I was thinking about getting one. I had to get it. It was, how much did I pay for it? $99. Wait a minute, how did you pay $99 for it? They're supposed to be $153. Well, I had a lot of credit or a lot of rewards points on my Amazon credit card. So it ended up only costing me 99 bucks. So I'm totally jazzed about it. And I have a lot of rewards points built up on my Knife Center account too. Over $50 worth. And I'm gonna leave it like that because I'm curious to see what's gonna happen with the Mayhem. So if it costs $239, I'll be able to get for $100 and something. And I might do that because if they improve the Mayhem, you know, like, I'm not worried about I like Oz 10A still. So if they leave it, even if they left it with the Oz 10A still, I still want one, but gotta give me G10 though. I don't want FRN. FRN and Oz 10A still, that's a $100 knife to me. Not a $239 knife. That's what they have them for on Knife Center for pre-order. And I would like to have one. I don't need a bunch of them, I just want one. Just because I have to check it out and see what it's all about because you know me, I like my cold steel megas. And the Mayhem belongs in my cold steel mega collection. But anyway, people, that's about all I got to share with you today. Hope everybody's doing good out there. I love these Esees. Esee-4 rocks. This one rocks. And the BK9, oh man, the BK9 is another knife with a super comfortable handle, and this one can handle anything a knife should be able to handle. It's an awesome knife, awesome knife. I love my EK50, but I just want something with a little bit more comfortable handle, and I wanted something that was rust resistant for smaller chores. So that one's gonna get retired, it's gonna be put in the collection. I'm gonna put it with my combat knives, because that's what it is, a World War II soldier's knife. And this is the one that's taking its place. Okay, Juju. I know, sweetie, you want to come up and say hi to everybody? Okay. That's right. That's my sweetie. All right, people, well, that's about it for today. I got some more new things to show you all, but I'm sort of waiting on some things because I want to do some more 80-20.5 mods, and I got the scales, and I got pocket clips now. Lynch pocket clips. Just got my package from them today. I'm waiting on my skiff bearings. My skiff bearings should be here probably by Monday, and when I get those in, we're gonna do some mods on the 80-20.5s with the new Dimco scales I got from what was it? The Knife Center. The new parts I got from Knife Center and the barrel spacers. So we're gonna make some new modified 80-20.5s. All right, people. Peace out, Stiletto.